Hello all, so let's discuss a problem which is the problem of the day for today. So let's continue with the example directly. So we are given a difference array and we have to find one more array which they are calling as hidden, such that, for example, the difference between two elements, right, 4 minus 3 should be equals to 1. Okay, that's why this is called a difference. Then 1 minus 4, it should be minus 3, and 5 minus 4, 5 minus 1 should be equals to 4, and that's why it's called the difference array. So we have to find all possible hidden sequences which will satisfy this difference condition. But the catch is that the element which are allowed in this hidden array should be in this range, both inclusive, that is lower and upper. That's what the question says, and we have to return all possible hidden sequences. And if there is nothing, or I mean no possible sequences, then just return 0. That's what we have to do. Okay, so let's try to build an intuition. So what was the first case? I guess it was 1, then minus 3, and then 4. Okay, this is our difference array. And we have to find the hidden one. So obviously it should be one size bigger. So let's say I don't know what the first element is. Let's call it question mark. Then the next element will be question mark plus 1, because if we take the difference, then it should be 1. Similarly, this should be minus 3, because if we take the difference should be minus 3. And similarly, it should be plus 4. So let's simplify it a bit. First 2 remains the same, but this should be minus 2 and this should be plus 2. Okay. Now, if we somehow know this question mark, at least the range of this question mark, then we can find all possible sequences. Okay. So that's what we can do easily, because we are given lower and upper. So lower is 1, upper is 6. So what it means is that the lowest element in here, which is question mark minus 2, should be greater than or equals to 1. It means the question mark should be greater than or equals to 3. Similarly, the highest element or the maximum element should be less than or equals to 6 as per our upper and lower range. So the question mark should be less than or equals to 4. We found the valid range. So there are two possible numbers for this unknown. So the answer is 2, and that's why you can see our answer is 2. Correct? So how we will output this 2 is, we will take the difference between 4 and 3 and just add plus 1 to it. Okay, that's how we can output. Perfect. So whatever is the lower bound and upper bound we are getting, we will just take the difference and just add plus 1 to it, and which will make 2, right? Because in order to have 4 and 3 to count as two possible values, we have to do this. Okay, that's simple. Now let's code it out with the same intuition. So, and one more thing that I forgot to mention, that if you notice this thing, and this thing, right? Let's say our unknown is 0, then it will be 1, minus 2, and plus 2, which is nothing but the running sum. You can see here the running sum or the prefix sum, and here it should be minus 2 plus 4 will be 2. Correct? So we will need running sum. Perfect. So what we will do is, firstly we will calculate the running sum, and then we will calculate that maximum and minimum. So let's call it x min and x max. So what we are doing here is, we are just calculating that maximum and minimum value. We are not explicitly calculating that hidden array because it will be extra space complexity. So but the end goal is to calculate the minimum and maximum from this array. So we are assuming that my question mark is 0. Okay, and so my question mark is 0, and I'm just calculating that maximum and minimum of my running sum. That's it. So in order to do that, differences, I guess the spelling is correct. So all this is done just to calculate the maximum and minimum running sum. That's it. Just forget about question mark, everything. Just we have to find that maximum and minimum. Okay. Which is, let's say my question mark is 0, then the maximum is 2 and my minimum is -2. That's what we are doing right now. So my minimum will be minimum of, because we have to do iteratively and running sum, and my maximum will be maximum of xmax and running sum. Let's print for you xmax and xmin so that we are on a right track. Obviously it will be wrong answer, but you can see the minimum is -2, maximum is +2, and that's what we already saw. So we are on a right track. Now what we have to do, after finding this max and min, our task is to find the lowest bound. Okay, so lower bound or the lowest element or lower bound is in allowed. Okay, lower bound allowed, you can name it, which makes sense. What it should be, what we did, let's recap. So whatever is the lowest element that we got, okay, how we find this question mark now, we just, what we do, we just subtract. Okay, here we subtracted what from my lower bound, we subtracted whatever we get here, right? Whatever is our minimum value, we subtracted it. We can say that we subtracted. Okay, so let's subtract it, or in mathematics sense we can say we are adding +2 on both the sides. Okay, and that's why we are getting 3, but our lowest value is -2, right? So we can't say we are adding, we will say that we are subtracting. So if we subtract -2, then we will get 3. So we subtracted. So let's subtract. So my lower bound will be, from my lower value I subtract whatever is my minimum, and similarly for my upper bound, what I'll do, this is the bound from my hidden array. Okay, don't confuse it with the given lower and upper. This is different. It should be similarly here also we subtracted, right? And whatever we got, our maximum value is 2, so we subtracted 2 from 6, and that's why we got 4. So we will also write here we subtracted. So let's write. And how we found the answer, our answer was, we have to return whatever is my lower bound and upper bound, the difference, and we will add +1 to it. Okay, so let me copy that. So whatever is my upper bound, whatever is my lower bound, which was 4 and 3 in this case, and we just add +1 to it. There will be one mistake here, because we have to check for the edge cases, and it will fail for this. Why? Because here expected value is 0. Okay, because here we are not getting any valid. Here we are told that if no possible sequences, then return 0. And in order to do that, what you have to do is just write max of whatever we are getting. Okay, because if we calculate for this, the running sum, then it should be 4 minus 3, 4 minus 7 is -3. So we will get 4 minus 3, and then -3 plus 2 is 1. Okay, so we will get here 1 as the, sorry, 4 as the highest and -3 as the lowest. And if we try to do this in this range, it's not possible to have any number or any hidden array which will satisfy this condition of 6 and 4. You can just directly check it out after this video. So that's why we have to put this max here, and if we will run it, I think it should work. Let's try to submit it, and it's working fine. So what will be the time and space, since we are not using any extra space except some variables? So the space should be of 1, and the time should be, we are iterating over entire array once, so it should be of n. Okay, so very simple. Let's try to check. O of n and O of 1 solution. Okay, so thank you and stay tuned.